Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This lecture is for BBA 2. The subject is Principles of Microeconomics. This is our lecture number 11, which is delivered by Ms. Zahra Arif. In this lecture, we will discuss about the introduction of economics and the basic concepts of microeconomics. The content are, first of all, we will discuss the introduction. In introduction, we will discuss about the microeconomic definition and macroeconomic definition. Micro means small and macro means large. So in microeconomics, it is the study of economics as a small unit, whereas in macroeconomics, it is the study of economics as at an aggregate level. Then there will come the concept of scarcity and choice. Because we have unlimited wants and limited resources, so it means that we have limited resources. Limited resources mean that we have scarce resources as compared to our wants. So we need to make a choice. So we will discuss it in this. Then we will discuss about the rational behavior of the consumer, limited income, unlimited want, and utility maximization. Introduction. First of all, microeconomics. I have already told you that what is the definition of microeconomics. Now, the question is that why do we study microeconomics? Because there is a problem of scarcity and choice. So we need to make a choice among our wants. So that is why we study microeconomics. Moving forward, the definitions of microeconomics. Simple definition of microeconomics is the study of how people, means consumers, students, customer, firms, etc., make their choices. Explanation. When people are provided with enough choices, they make rational decisions and perform better. Means that if the people are given the choices, so what you will do, if I will give you the choice, what you will do? You will choose the best one. Then the thing which will give you less satisfaction with the previous one. So you will rank the wants. Choices, options, utility. When there is freedom, then there will be choices. There is a book which is written by Amartya Sen, that is Development as Freedom. In that book, she has many times talked about choices, options, scarcity, and all about these things. So, when there is freedom, then there will be choices. Anything which is given freedom and choices, they will get maximum satisfaction. Simple, when you are given freedom, when you are given choices, then you will get maximum choices in student performance. You also in your life make the choices. So that is linked with the choices and the student performance. For example, that you have to take an admission, you will take either in the University of Education, either you will take the admission in Punjab University, or you will take the admission in the Defence Degree College for Women. So what you will do? You will do cost benefit analysis and see that which will give you maximum satisfaction. So you will opt that choice. Similarly, it is linked with the customer. So anytime who is given freedom and choices, they will get maximum satisfaction. Now, principle of microeconomics. This definition is given by McConnell and Brew. The social science concerned with how individual, institutions, and society make optimal means best choices under conditions of scarcity. Moving forward, choices and scarcity. Scarcity leads to make choices because we have to face the problem of scarcity. We have unlimited wants and limited resources. So due to scarcity, because we have limited resources, so we need to make the choices. Now, choices and rationality. When people are given choices, they make rational decisions. Rational means what is best for them. They do cost benefit analysis and opt what is best for them. Scarcity will lead to make choices, and rationality will also lead to make choices. Economics is derived Economics derived from psychology, from behavior of the people and political economy. Basic concepts of microeconomics. Now in microeconomics, we study about the consumer behavior. Consumer behavior means that is the demand side economics. Then firms behavior, because firms supply goods, so that is supply side economy. Price determination in the equilibrium, that how the price of the commodity and the labor and the land, everything, how the price is determined, that is determined by the interaction of demand and supply forces. Then market structure. Of course, we will also study the economic system prevailing in today's world. Axioms of rational choice. Now, there are two things. One is axioms and the other is assumptions. Sometimes in some books they mix axioms and assumptions, but these are two different things. Axioms are the things that are already proven, means they are God proven. They are revealed from God. But the assumptions are the things which need to be proved. It might be favorable, might be unfavorable, might be advantageous, and might be not advantageous. So, first axiom which we will discuss is completeness. Completeness. If A and B are any two situations, an individual can always specify exactly one of these possibilities. What we will do, if there are two possibilities A and B, so either you will prefer A to B, or you will prefer B to A, or you will say that both are equally attractive for me. For example, if I prefer milkshake in sehri over tea, or I can say if I prefer chips over samosas in aftari, so we can prefer one thing. So that is completeness. It can change with respect to time, with respect to person. So this is not the thing that it will remain same for all. It can change, it can vary. The next axiom is transitivity. If A is preferred to B and B is preferred to C, then A is preferred to C. Assume that the individual choices are internally consistent. For example, I'll prefer juice over soft drink and soft drink over tea. So it means that I will prefer juice over tea. The next axiom is continuity. If A is preferred to B, then situations suitably close to A must also be preferred to B. Used to analyze individual responses to relatively small changes in income and prices. Means if A is preferred to B and A is closely related to C, then C is also preferred to B. For example, juice is preferred to tea. Then I can substitute juice with a milkshake. Then I will say milkshake is also preferred to tea. This is the continuity, that juice and milkshake are interrelated. Next, assuming completeness, transitivity, and continuity. People are able to rank all possible situations from the least desirable to the most. Economists call this ranking utility. If A is preferred to B, then utility assigned to A exceeds the utility assigned to B. Utility. Utility. Individuals' preferences are assumed to be represented by a utility function of the form of u of x1, x2 up to so on n units of x, where x1, x2 and xn are the quantities of each of n goods that might be consumed in the period. This function is unique only up to an order preserving transformation. Now, what is order preserving transformation? Order preserving is that we rank the utilities like first, second, third, that is known as order preserving transformation. We cannot quantify the utility. Like we can say that juice is more preferred to tea. What does it mean by this? That we are ordering our preferences. This is order preserving. Utility ranking are ordinal in nature. Record the relative desirability of the commodity bundles. It makes no sense to consider how much more utility is gained from A than from B. Impossible to compare utilities between two. Now, utility is affected by the consumption of physical commodities. Means that if you are consuming any commodity, you will get a satisfaction, so that means that you are getting the utility. Then psychological attitude. If I like tea, it means it will give me the utility. If I like juice, it means that it also gives me the utility. Then peer group pressures. Peer group pressure means if my friends are having soft drink, then I am also taking soft drink, either I like it or not. It means that it is a peer group pressure. Then personal experience. For example, if my personal experience is bad with the soft drink, then if there is a new soft drink is launched, then I will not try that because I have a personal experience with that. Then the general cultural environment. Tea has become an environment in the winter, so we use it. So it affects the utility. The ceteris paribus assumption. Other things equal. Devote attention exclusively to choices among quantifiable options, while holding constant the other things that affect the behavior. Now, what does this other things being equal mean? It is a ceteris paribus is a Latin word. Whenever we will explain some law, we will start that law if other things remains constant. That is known as ceteris paribus. Utility from consumption of goods. Assume an individual must choose among consumption of n number of goods. Show his ranking using the utility function of the form utility is u x1 x2 up to so on xn comma other things. So it is affected by different variable and the other things which we make the constant. So we have to make other things as constant, then the utility is x1 x2 and x3, or we can say it for two goods utility is u x y. Arguments of utility functions. U is the function of wealth. It says that utility is a function of wealth. Then it says utility is a function of consumption and leisure. Then it says that the utility depend upon the consumption in two different periods. So two goods and utility function is more of any particular x1 during some period is preferred to less. Thank you.